Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about Mercury in Cancer. For the last 3 months, Mercury has been in Gemini. It retrograded there, so it expanded its timing for being in Gemini. So now it is on the move. And not only on the move, now its speed has increased. And it's only going to stay 16 days in Cancer and then move on to Leo. So what do we expect? How do we balance ourselves? Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and I'm going to be talking about Mercury in Cancer. But do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. Lots happening in August, so you'll see number of videos coming one after the other. So Mercury in Cancer. Now, the thing is that it's going to be rushing through Cancer. It is, you blink your eyes and it has gone. So from 1st to 16th of August, but it is no longer in dignity. It was in dignity in it is no longer in dignity. It was in dignity in Gemini, creating a Bhadra Mahapurusha yoga for many ascendants, being positive energy as well. But in Cancer, it is in moon sign, and Mercury and moon don't always get along. Mercury has to trust its instinct in Cancer. It is not Mercury that is analytical and perfectionist. And also Mercury from 4th of August starts becoming combust. And it is going to go through Gandanta as well. So it is a very unsettled energy, I would say, that Mercury can feel burnt out. And because Mercury is the significator of our mind and for our thinking, you could think that our thinking, we are burnt out with overthinking things. There are no solutions visible. And going into Cancer, we need some caring of ourselves and not maybe little less TV, little less news, just to give yourself a little break from overdoing things. Because even though Mercury was strong in Gemini, it was with Rahu and it was part of the eclipses. So coming out of it, I think we need to give ourselves some time for relaxation of mind, maybe a little bit of yoga, meditation, or just walking in nature, if you are allowed to do that wherever you are. But it is like we are burnt out over, and especially after 4th to end of August, Mercury continues to be in that combustion stage. Too close to the sun. Cancer, when Mercury comes into Cancer, Sun is also in Cancer, but it goes close, but they don't exactly conjoin. But it gets hidden. So we won't be able to see Mercury in the sky. It is hidden behind the light of the sun. So it is I would say, complex transit, and it is also complex for us because certain conditions that we have got used to have changed. Venus has changed signs, and after a long time, Mercury has changed signs after a long time. So the situation that I would say was embedded within us is now shifting. And it could be good news, don't always think it will be negative. But the main idea to study the transits is, and to understand these movements, is that we can take some balancing action. We can do things that we are helping ourselves to develop and work. And secondly, now Mercury is going to be Gandanta from 15th, 16th. As it moves out of Cancer, it is going to be Gandanta. Actually, August is full of Gandantas. I will make a separate video for it. But Mercury goes out in Gandanta at the same time as Sun is in Gandanta. So 15th, 16th is quite a intense energy in the sense it's very changeable. Sun will go through Gandanta, Mercury is going through Gandanta as well. And I think Mars is also Gandanta. So to be very conscious, to take extra care around that time. Doesn't matter what sign you are. All signs, their mind is frazzled and you need some time on your own in a calm situation. Don't just think always negative, and think about how best you can deal with it. So Mercury, when it goes into Cancer, it is going to be opposite to Saturn. And so Mercury Saturn, early August, Mercury will be opposite Saturn. And so Saturn is restricting it, not letting it deal with the situation. So there are two things happening for Mercury. One is that it is getting combust. Secondly, it is opposite Saturn for this whole 16-day transit. So it is not thinking correctly. It is thinking in stress and overdoing things. So I would say that it is so important that you are keeping a balance in your life and not just thinking stress, or thinking everything is negative, because, on one side, Mercury feels burnt out, and on the other side, Saturn is pricking it and irritating it. So it's double pressure. So how does it affect individual signs? So remember, always I'm looking at moon and ascendant. So these are the two signs from your moon sign, ascendant. If both are difficult, then you are going through a challenge. If both are good, then it is positive. And if one on the other, then you mean sometimes it's great and sometimes not so. So let us look at Aries. Now, for Aries, Mercury is not the best planet. But your ascendant ruler will also be going through Gandanta. Do watch the Mars video that I made. I'll put a link here. But Mercury is how you communicate, and maybe you feel you're not communicating properly. It is in the 4th house of happiness. You may be overemphasizing what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. Just let it be. Just pass this time. That is my advice to you. Taurus, Mercury is a good planet for you. It is in the 3rd house of communication. It rules money for you. So I would say that at this stage, Venus is in your 2nd house of finances and Mercury is in the 3rd house of what should I do about it. I would say be calm. Don't be in a rush. And that will work the best for you. Gemini, of course, Mercury is your ascendant ruler and going into the 2nd house of money, but it is also burnt out. It is also exhausted. So you have maybe overdone things and you feel burnt out. For Gemini and Virgo, generally, it is a good idea that every few months they take a few days off and to just rejuvenate themselves. So from 4th of August, as Mercury slowly goes more and more combust, and 15th, 16th of August, when Mercury is in Gandanta, those are the times that you have to be extra careful, especially around 15, 16. Mercury is extremely combust. It conjuncts with Sun in Leo, but it's very close to the Sun. So if you don't balance yourself, you'll get more and more burnt out and you'll be running on empty. So keep that in mind. Cancer, Mercury is coming into your ascendant and it can make you overthink things. And also it can, as the 12th house ruler, as not the best planet for you, it can make you spend money, overdo. So I would say it is important, especially to keep a tight control on your finances. And, also just chill a bit and don't overthink things. Of course, for Cancer, we can't judge where the moon is, so you have to just be careful about the daily moon transits. You have to watch that for yourself. Leo, Mercury goes into 12th house for you of expenses and loss, and it can also be financial expenses, and because Mercury rules both houses of money for you. So always this 1st to 16th, keep tight control on your finances. That if you start thinking, I'm going to spend $5, it may turn out to be $100 or 200. So be cautious on big expenses. Obviously, small things we have to be careful about. But it's the big expenses that if they get out of control. And be also careful how you speak and what you say to people, because sometimes you may, be very fiery, sometimes very soft. So you've got to be cautious about that. Virgo, of course, Mercury is your Lagna Lord or Moon Lord. So this transit and the next, month or so, because while Mercury combusts, you have to take the balancing action, because Mercury is always getting combust, 6 times a year it gets combust. So we have to be conscious of those times that you have to slow down a bit. Mercury is also moving at double fast speed. So you've got used to a certain rhythm, and suddenly now Mercury has changed the rhythm. So take precautions about it. Also be slow yourself down, give yourself a little break, rejuvenate yourself. I think that is important. Cancer is your 11th house. It's not a bad transit for you, money, finances, but you're thinking too quickly and too fast, and so slow down for now. Libra, Mercury in Cancer in your 10th house of career. It's not a bad transit for you. I think of all the signs, you are doing quite well. You have Venus in the 9th, Mercury in the 10th house. I would say still don't overthink the issues. Take your time before deciding anything you want to do professionally. Scorpio, Mercury in Cancer, 9th house. It is the house of learning and advising, and Mercury again is not the best planet for you, and so be conscious of this transit. I think you have to watch more the Mars transit, but the Gandanta for Mercury around August 15th, a lot of things are going into Gandanta, so we need to take care at that time. And Sagittarius, Mercury rules relationships for you. Mercury rules career for you. It's in Cancer. Cancer is the 8th house for you. So it can bring some unexpected changes. Mercury can also bring some money for you. It's not that long a transit. So it can bring some money, but it definitely is an unsettled time. So you have to just feel blessed that Jupiter is in the Lagna or with your moon, and it's keeping things steady. But otherwise, Mercury is not helping you. So you have to trust yourself and keep things steady. Capricorn, Mercury in Cancer in the house of marriage and relationships. And so you are definitely thinking relationships, maybe focusing too much on it. And so that is an important factor. And just to be conscious that you're not creating aggravation there. Aquarius, Cancer is your 6th house. So this is breaking some obstacles for you. Your thinking is not going in the correct directions. People may be creating difficulties for you. So you do need to watch this transit a little bit. But when you're watching transits, there's a lot of other things happening at the same time. So this is a minor transit, I would say, but still just watch out for it. And especially when Mercury goes into Gandanta, and also relax yourself a little bit. Overthinking, sometimes that is leading you towards some obstacles. So relax a little bit. Pisces, Mercury rules your 4th and 7th house. It is in Cancer, which is 5th house of ideas and thinking. Mercury can be very fertile in ideas, and it is. But at the same time, you may find that you are facing some obstacle at home. As I was saying, that Venus is in your fourth house in the Venus video. So it may mean that you are traveling a little bit and doing things, and just be conscious that if you feel that there are some things that need repair or need sorting out at home, that may be good. Or with relationships, sometimes your partners are feeling a little burnt out, so you need to support them during this time. So that is it for today. Thank you. Remember to subscribe, press the bell notification.